Hello, hello, my lovely people. Long awaited video, my live ops update. A lot of you all have inboxed me about my experience with live ops, if I still work at live ops or do live ops or anything like that. And I wanted to make this video today. By the way, today is Easter Sunday. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to drop this video, but anyway, today is Easter Sunday, and I hope you all are having a fantastic Sunday. I am at home chilling, doing some deep cleaning and everything. Listening to Olivia Green. That's who I'm on right now. I've watched her. I've listened to almost all her albums that she put out this far. So yeah, I'm addicted. So as the title says, everything I wish I knew before starting live ops: a complete beginner's guide. So there are a lot of videos on YouTube. I don't know why I'm still getting nervous with y'all. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about live ops, and this is going to be a little different than what y'all normally see. So just bear with me. And today is believe day 16th of my 100K challenge. So I just had to throw that out there. I didn't want me to go on with the video and not let you all know that I'm looking for my notes. I had just turned my page. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so that's not it. Lord, what I do with my notes, y'all? Don't bear with me. Bear with me. This is raw, uncut. What did I do with my notes? Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so let's get started. This is what y'all want to know. So, Live Ops is a independent contractor job opportunity. It is a legitimate job, but you are responsible for your taxes. It's an independent contractor gig opportunity. Okay, it is a real job. So you are responsible for your taxes. They don't take out tax. They don't take out anything for Social Security, federal, state taxes. You are responsible for that. So I will advise you to get with your best friend ChatGPT and ask them how to go about doing stuff like that, or hire you a CPA, certified public accountant, to help you do your taxes at the end of the year, because you can write off some things. I'm not a certified public accountant, but I just want to put that out there because I think a lot of people are looking for work from home opportunities, and people skip over that part. So I wanted to put that out there first, okay, the taxes part, because a lot of us maybe be moms, we have children, we're looking forward to that earned income credit at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the year, and sometimes that might mess us up if we owe because we didn't put aside enough taxes to cover the whole year that we worked. Okay, so okay, there you go. So Live Ops is a independent contractor job. It's a 1099. You can choose your own schedule, so that's one reason why I chose Live Ops. It's simple. It's extremely easy to get onto there, but we'll get to that. I got a bullet list, but you choose your own hours. So me personally, at the time, I can only work commit to 30 minutes at a time. So the way their schedule is set is in 30-minute increments. So say you could only work from 9 to 9:30. So maybe you have to take your child to the bus stop, or maybe you have to do whatever you have to do, and you can't just dedicate a full whole hour or 2 or 3, 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? It's very flexible, okay? So you can choose your own hours. So that's why I fell in love with live ops. I was promoting live ops a lot in the early days because I knew a lot of mothers, women, men needed the flexibility of being able to still make money, but they just couldn't lock in that whole hour, that whole 2 hours, that whole 4 hours, whatever may be the case. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I I went towards live ops, and I started telling everybody else that I could tell about our live ops opportunity. Also, the thing about the hours, and I want to be honest with you, is according on what company you work with, if you are able to get a full 40 hours. So a lot of times in training, I've been with Liveops for several years, so I work for a lot of the campaigns and a lot of companies that they hire us through to work for. That will come up in a lot of training classes. Am I guaranteed 40 hours? And the frustrating part about it, you're not guaranteed anything in this life, along with these hours at this work from home job. Okay, so I would safely say they want you to be, when you sign up to work, they want you at least to be able to commit at least 20 hours, at least 30 hours, I believe. It's according on the company that you work for, a campaign. But people want to work 40 hours, so I always tell people, be wise when you sign up for these. They say 20 hours, but you may not get 20 hours. So that's why I say stack your work from home companies or gigs, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, we'll go through that, um, through my little list I have here. But I just want to be raw and uncut. You know how I am with my lovely people. I tell y'all exactly what it is and how it is. So, um, you are able to choose your schedule. The schedule you may want and need, the hours might be already taken. They have a system. I ain't gonna say it's a reward system, but they do have a system where a lot of the agents who've been on there a lot longer may get the schedule might drop and they may have access to it sooner. So say you could only work, okay, while I'm working this live ops opportunity, I got hired, went through everything, background checking all the stuff, and I can only work between 11 and 2 because that's when my baby go down, or that's when no one's in the house to make noise, or whatever may be your situation. It's a whole bunch of different situations people are in. And unfortunately, when the schedule do drop, 11-2 is already taken. So they may only have 5 to 9. And you can't work 5 to 9 because that's when, everyone's home, everyone's doing what they doing, that's the truth. I mean, I'm just telling y'all what a lot of people don't talk about, okay? So you have to think about that. There's no guarantees, even in training, even if you go through the whole process, you get in training, and training's not paid, y'all. So sometimes training for these programs and these companies it's non-training, it's non-paid, and it could be 4 to 6 8 weeks sometimes. Not, and you got to think about that. So if you see an opportunity and sound like, oh man, that sounds good, I've always wanted to work for this company but I never could get hired on directly on to with this company, and this live ops have them on their platform, that's just one of the things. It just might not work out the way you want it to work out. And I'm telling you the truth. Things I wish I would have knew before working with live ops, or while working with live ops. I searched high and low on the internet to try to get some of these questions answered, and no one was hitting them. I had to find out. So this is lived this experience that I'm sharing with y'all. So that's one thing you have to think about. You may say you want 40 hours, 50 hours, or you might say that they might say, oh, the hours are unlimited, but there's not unlimited hours, not 60, 70, 80 hours a week for you to work if you're a workaholic like me. Okay, so you might only get 10 hours. You might only get 20 hours. You might get all the hours. Who knows, it might be a difficult campaign for you to work. So that's why a lot of people are not working it. You might find yourself in a lot of technical issues. I know I was working for this one company, and it was a lot of systems that you have to sign into, and it just was a lot. You had to literally be at your computer at least 10 minutes, and not 15 minutes, before it was time for you to log in, because you had to open up and log into all these systems. And if you was having issues, you had to go into a breakout room to get assistance. And then sometimes they didn't want to pay you in a breakout room, but it'd be all these other lists of people, like 25, 30 people sometimes in a breakout room waiting to get help. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something to think about. It's what no one talk about, working from home. You have to be tech savvy. Sometimes it's not you, it's the systems, and the companies are aware of it. So don't be like, oh my God, I'm not tech savvy. I thought it was gonna be something simple. It can be simple. Just calm down. The more you work from home, you understand. It'll click. It'll make sense what I'm talking about. The people who know. Okay, when I'm talking about all them systems and everything you got to log into just to get to where you need to get to work. The income can be good but slow. That's what I'm saying. They pay you every 30 minutes. So say you making 12, 14, 15, $16 an hour. And so, well, how does that work? They break it down. They can tell you how to break it down. If you work in 30 minutes, and then you work an hour, you work an hour 45, hour 15, hour 25. They know how to do all that. I'm not good with math. I'm not even gonna try to front with y'all. But it'll start making sense, because a lot of times also it's active. So say you get a campaign and you work, like I said, at 11 to 2, because that's the only time you have the house quiet and everyone's just giving you, let you do what you need to do. You may be signed in for 11 to 2, but you might not get a call to 1:30, and you've been online all the time and you ain't get paid. So that was my downfall. No one talked about it, at least back then. It might be videos about it now, but back then there was no videos about being active, being so I think it's standby or active. I'm not quite sure. I do apologize, y'all. But I know if you're on a live call, you get paid. But if you're active waiting for a call, you don't get paid on some campaigns. I always used to work for companies where you get paid per hour. But then if you're getting paid per hour, sometimes a little less than when you getting. Well, I guess it's kind of the same, right? Now I think about it. I don't know, but I'm just telling you all. I'm gonna leave that in the video because I just thought about it out loud. Sometimes you gotta talk things out. But yeah, I don't know. If you own waiting to get called and you don't get paid, but then you own a campaign that pay you per hour. I don't know. But anyway, just something to think about. I'm just being honest with you all. Let me see, what else I say? Income. Oh, also another thing, y'all. So say you working for the vacuum cleaner company. The vacuum cleaner company is good, it's strong. The hours, the business is strong between January and February. I mean January and April. You booming, you getting hours, you know what I'm saying? You hitting your goals, you know what I'm saying? You paying all your bills, you comfortable. And then April the 15th, just like when you have to have your taxes done, you don't get an extension, the campaign stops and you gotta work. Just like that. That happens with these independent contractor jobs. Sometimes you know ahead of time, then a lot of times you don't know. And then you scrambling to try to cover your bills. Like you might wake up the next day, like say April 14th, and you might get an email at midnight that night saying, oh, the vacuum cleaner company is, discontinuing their contract. We no longer need 100 agents, or we cutting down to our top 20 agents who produce XYZ numbers or metrics and all this kind of stuff. And you like, that happened to me. I was so hurt. I was so disappointed because I had finally gotten to the groove of working from home. And, I had finally got my bills, I had, I always try to stay ahead, a month ahead. And I was, I was flowing with it. And then all of a sudden, the campaign ended and I was the one let go. And I was just like, and you can't get in touch with nobody. I don't care what nobody say. You write down those emails when you in training, you try to reach out to those people. It's like, it's like that ex that you done cut off, no contact for real. Like you be scrambling trying to get in touch with the people to try to find out like what happened. Then you in they have like a water cooler where all your other I ain't gonna say teammates, but the other contractors are in, and you could talk about, well, it's monitored. You really ain't supposed to talk about a certain thing, but sometimes people go offline and talk, but they don't want you doing that neither. But so if I when I had the campaign that ended, I went into the water cooler area. It's through Slack, or I think Liveops have their own little area that you can communicate with other people and the staff and see what's going on with Liveops. I might be confusing Liveops with Working Solutions. I work for both of them. I still have independent contractor with both of them, but I'm only actively with one right now. Well, not really, because both of them done went to Windows. They're both for Windows 11 and Windows 12, but the RAM is I think 16. I only have eight because I have a HP all-in-one, and with the HP all-in-one, we're gonna get, that's the next thing, equipment. Um, you can't use a Chromebook. Now, some work from home companies that's on my channel, you can use a Chromebook. You just need to log into their particular system, and you can start working. And it's okay with Wi-Fi. But this live ops, you cannot use a Chromebook, and you can't do Wi-Fi. You can't do it at Starbucks. You can't do it. No, you can't do it at the library. You can't do it sit down in your car because your family won't be quiet, respectful while you're trying to work. You have to have it hooked into your actual PC, personal computer, or laptop, the Ethernet cord, okay? You have to have headsets. They don't like you to have the wireless kind. Some people use the wireless kind. If you can get through with it, get by with it. If you can have a strong battery, make sure you charge it every time, your shift starts to end. You good with the headset. I did say Windows 12, but I got to double check. I think I'm confusing Windows 11 and Windows 12 with the RAM. You got to have strong RAM. Now, that's one reason why I haven't been working with them. I said strong internet connection, can't use Chromebooks. I did mention that. The application process is extremely easy. I'm telling you, y'all, it's so easy. That's one reason I've tried to encourage all the ladies in my work from home Facebook group. Try Liveops. You looking for a live work from home job? They don't pay if you were looking for 20, 30, $40 an hour, this ain't it. But if you're looking for moderate pay, what you could possibly make it like Walmart, Target, maybe a grocery store, Liveops, and you could be at home. You ain't got to worry about transportation. This is good for people who ain't got transportation. This is good for people who ain't got childcare. This is good for people who do got transportation, because gas price is $4 a gallon. This is good for people who don't have transportation, who don't have childcare, and who do have childcare. So say you find an opportunity on there, and the shifts don't start to like 9 to 4. You could drop your kids off daycare, pick them up at 5. Okay, so, or pick them up at whatever, and you still got time to do what you got to do. So I'm not trying to discriminate people who don't have children. I'm just telling you the opportunities that's out there. Application, you have to have a background check. At the time, I think the application fee, you have to pay for your application fee. At the time, I think the application fee was like $25. It might have gone up. I'm not quite sure. It could take anywhere from 24 hours to a couple of days to court on if you lived all over the country, universe, and planets too. So that it just takes time. I don't know what they be looking for, but you could get denied even after you pay for that background check. So I'm just telling you, if you got a little bit of extra money, you still got some of your tax refund, or you got a little bit of extra money, you just came up on something, and it won't hurt your pockets, won't hurt your main, your main what you're trying to do, then go ahead, make it do what it do. Drop it if you're looking at Liveops. That's why I always tell people to stack these work for home jobs and gigs. Just stack them because you just never know. Okay. That was my last thing I wanted to talk about is stacking multiple work from home jobs. The only thing that if you in live ops and you're in a training, the training is straight hours. Like training, like say if you want to work for the vacuum cleaner person and their training is Monday through Friday from 8 to 6. There's no room for you to be working nowhere else. So that was a lot of heartache that a lot of people was expressing in training because they had other jobs that were paying. They were just trying to stack on their work from home jobs. Now, some people did what they did. I'm not even going to talk about it. We can go on to my membership channel. We can talk all about how they did that in training and at their other work from home job, but we're not going to talk about that on here because people like to report people and say different all kind of stuff. So you got to do what you got to do. As long as it's legal, you're not hurting nobody. I'm not knocking it, but that's my experience working with live ops. I really did like it. I really do enjoy working from home. It just sitting in this chair got my back really really hurting. I have a computer desk and I have a computer chair. I have real bad sciatica, really bad sciatica. The older I get, that's one reason. On top of a lot of things, I couldn't drive anymore for Uber and Lyft. But anyway, y'all ain't asked about Uber and Lyft. We'll make a video about that too. But I personally could not sit at a desk for the long extended amount of time. And you might be in the same situation too. You can't sit in no computer desk for no hours, hours at a time. You might need something where you can work for 30 minutes and you can get up, stretch your legs, and then come back 30 minutes or an hour later and knock it out till you get your full 8 hours, if you're able to get 8 hours. You understand what I'm saying? So it all depends on your situation. That's why I always promote and advise people to look into live ops. Now, you might say, well, Nikki, you said a little bit good, you said a little bit bad. I have to tell y'all exactly what it is because a lot of times people don't tell you all really what's going on with these work for home companies. They just tell you a little bitty piece, and then you left and you get into it and you're like, well, darn, I didn't know, I got to wait this amount of time to get paid. I ain't know, and I don't think I talked about the pay. You get paid through open force, and you get paid every 2 weeks, the first and the 15th, and it's direct deposit. You don't get a physical check. Now I was thinking about one company you get a physical check, but I don't even know if they still in business because I be getting stuff mixed up. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I really do because I worked for so many different work from home companies before over the years, just trying to make a way, just trying to make a way. That's what everyone's doing right now. And then a lot of these work from home jobs, they are kind of geared. I might be biased, y'all. I might be biased, but I think a lot of these work from home jobs are the hours are maybe in the evening because they know people have full time jobs. Like job people that work like 8 to 4, 8 to 5, and so when they get off, they can work this as a part time job, 6 to 10, 6 to 11. Me personally, my brain be done shut off by then. I'm done. I'm over it. Like 5 to 10, five. I'm by 8 o'clock. I'm shutting out. I'm be like, huh? What? Like for real, for real. It just like that with me. So, but if you need something in the evenings, that's fine. They do have, it's according on the campaign. They do have weekend openings where you can work on the weekends. They do according on if you work with something like banking or financial institutions, they may be closed on holidays. Um, yeah, they do have banking. This one particular work from home opportunity, they have banking. So you wouldn't be working on the holidays that the banks are closed unless you did like fraud protection or something like that. For which I think is cool, fraud protection, because you can actually see behind the scenes how that works. I worked in food stamps, EBT benefits. Oh my God, I learned so much. I learned so much about how that system works. I'll be forever grateful. But um, the campaign ended and people was messing up so bad. I think they lost the contract. I don't know what happened, but I really enjoyed it. I really did. But thank you all for watching. Don't forget I have resources down in the description below. Check out my ebook. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and till next time.